I have this pair of pants, but I promise they aren't just any pants. Most of my friends sitting here today have seen me wearing my yellow sunshine pants. And to be perfectly honest, it was this pair of pants that inspired me today to talk on the notion of color. The reason for this inspiration was the complete feeling of joy I felt when wearing these pants. Every time I put them on, I felt completely supersonic, and they impacted my mood extremely. Oh, how rude of me. I'm so sorry. My name is CLUVER, and it's a pleasure to meet you all. Naturally, I'm a very curious person, so I started asking myself questions. Why is it that people, regardless of age, race, gender, or ethnicity, are mesmerized by and can't help but smile when they see a burst of confetti, a display of fireworks, or a cluster of colorful balloons? As human beings, we are taught that our external environment has little or no impact on our inner joy. Joy comes from within, most people claim. It is an internal feeling that is an effect of something external. But what if the natural vibrancy of our surroundings is actually our most renewable and easily accessible joy? We live in a world that makes our differences feel so vast as to be insurmountable, yet underneath it all, we all look up to the sky and smile when a rainbow appears. Colors are vibrations of light that exist continually around us, a constantly occurring dance between matter and light where we are the audience. In our busy and chaotic world, I can't help but think that we have forgotten to stop, look around us, and embrace the colors of our lives. When was the last time you actually noticed color? I don't mean the last time you stopped at a red robot because the robot was red. I mean, when was the last time that color made you feel something real? When was the last time that you connected with color as a universal notion of joy? We think of color as an attribute, however, it is not. Color is an eternal happening, alive around us at every moment. Our color vision is an integral sense that relates directly to our survival. Our distant ancestors were nocturnal animals who relied on smell as their dominant sense. They foraged under covers of darkness and never used color vision. But 25 million years ago, night monkeys ventured out into the daylight, adopting the diurnal schedule that we still follow today. Our color vision fundamentally made us human. And from the beginning, it was obvious. The liveliest things had one thing in common: bright, vivid color. Whether it be a row of houses painted in shades of candy hues, or a display of lollipops that make your taste buds burst, vibrant colors spark feelings of delight. Color is therefore a part of us all, yet we have come to dismiss it as something childish and frivolous. Chromophobia is the persistent, irrational fear of or aversion to color, and is usually a conditioned response. Now, I know what most of you must be thinking. What has this world come to that we can now diagnose someone with the fear of color? But chromophobia really got me thinking about the human race. If naturally we understand that color brings us joy, why is there such a gap between the colors that enliven us and the colors that surround us? If naturally we know that colors make us happy, why are all of our lives so dull in color? Yellow is considered the psychologically happiest color. It is the color that brings us the most amount of joy. So why do we not choose to paint our houses yellow? Why do we paint the inside of our houses gray, white, or beige? Meet Shusaku Arakawa and Madeline Kuntz, visual artists, conceptual writers, and self-taught architects. They believed that through radical recollaboration of the built environment, humans can solve the ultimate design flaw: death. They believed in an ideology entitled reversible destiny, and it is based on the thinking that our bodies are conditioned by our surrounding environments and our architecture, and we naturally adapt to whatever space we are given. Once you feel comfortable, your body begins to deteriorate. Their architecture basically keeps you from adapting to the space. The artists completed 5 artworks in their lifetime, 3 in Tokyo and 2 in America. But there's one that I wish to share with all of you today. The Reversible Destiny Lofts Mitaka, built in memory of Helen Keller. They sit on the outskirts of Tokyo and consist of 9 apartments, painted in 14 different colors. They are the first residential units built not to die, and they aim to do this through a number of different ways. From the sensory overload of color schemes inside and out, to the sloping ceilings and undulating floors, created to stop residents feeling too comfortable. They are also designed so that wherever you look, there will always be 6 different colors in your eye line. 80% of individuals who have experienced the Mataka lofts stated that they felt more aware of their bodies in the space, and that the color re-energized their souls and left them feeling more joyful. Another interesting dynamic for me is the notion of color and fashion. Fashion is considered the pinnacle of self-expression. If your favorite color is lime green, why buy the coat in gray? Oh, it's considered more practical, you say. With all due respect, what does that even mean? For most of my life, I've thought about my color choices through a lens of what they said about me. Did I have the guts to rock the red shoes? Would the pink dress make people take me less seriously? I soon realized that guts were not what I needed. If I loved the red shoes, rocking them would come organically. In the words of Muccia Prada, what you wear is how you present yourself to the world, especially today when human contacts go so fast. Fashion is instant language. Growing up in a home where 3 girls rule the world, I completely resonate with this quotation. My mother has always modeled to my sister and I that we can never be overdressed or overeducated, and that the infusion of color into our lives will only make life that much more exciting. Another individual that represents the overall point that I'm aiming to communicate to all of you today is geriatric color icon Iris Apfel. For those of you that don't know who she is, Iris is a 96-year-old who describes herself as the world's oldest living teenager. She studied history and went to art school in New York City and is characterized as fashion's most instantaneously recognizable tastemakers. Iris believes that great personal style is about knowing yourself, staying curious, and maintaining a sense of humor. But more importantly, a great life is a life filled with color. Iris represents color in human form and is a living example of how the infusion of color into your life can truly make it one worth living. In the words of my newest icon, color can raise the dead. My wish, therefore, is that every single one of you sitting here today is inspired to reignite your life with a splash of color. Fill your lives with the colors that make you feel the most alive, because color is everything, thriving around us at every moment, waiting to be a part of you. Thank you.